Welcome back to Let's Play Secret of Mana, part 21, I think? I'm Get Dave. So, I know I said I didn't like off-screening. I didn't do much. I'm only at the beginning of my slippery slope. I just equipped the gear I bought. What? What are you doing hanging out with these people? Upgrade my cram. Now it's a load boomerang. Sounds a bit less impressive to me. Told me all about you? Yeah, okay. White dragons, I believe. Mushrooms riding white dragons. You know, that would normally strike me as odd, and I'm sure it does to people outside. Oh, that's what those were. You know, people outside of video gaming might see that as odd, but, you know, Mario set a pretty weird precedent to begin with, so. The legendary Knigget. I guess I assumed mushroom people didn't have legends. I'm wielding the sword. I'm missing one of those things. Oh, and there's something upstairs for me. Okay. Also, I'm not exactly sure which palace they're referring to, because, I already found the Wind Palace. Got the Javelin's orb. Now we can upgrade my pole dart. That's a pretty big deal, so. Oops, didn't mean to talk to him. I guess I should call it the Javelin. They're all called Javelins now. Or in this case, a light trident, but it calls it a Javelin orb, so I may pass. I seem to recall there being something if I go back here. Maybe that's just the inn. Worthless inn. Alright, I'm getting a little bit of lag chopping on my end. How about you? That worked pretty well for fighting a steep crab. I always consider them extremely hard to hit. Also, while I'm thinking of it, I falsely reported that this game was from the Final Fantasy Legend series. That's crazy talk for me. It's the sequel to Final Fantasy Adventure. At least, I think that's the correct version. I don't really know anymore. You can't believe anything I say. Yeah, Final Fantasy Legend, I believe, is the series of 3 normal sort of Final Fantasy games for the Game Boy. Adventure or what they call Final Fantasy Adventure is actually Seiken Densetsu 1, which is actually Secret of Mana 0. There we go. That was way easier than figuring out which game Final Fantasy 3 actually refers to. Alright, that went pretty well. Okay, now we gotta go after this kimono bird, because he's just gonna keep spawning more dudes. Also, he can cast Thunderbolt. Which is about as painful as it sounds. Actually, probably a lot less. Your characters can get Thunderbolted a ton in this game. In real life, I don't think you'd last more than 2 tops. Riot gas. That's fantastic. I'm going to switch to the spray because I need the whip here. so you're starting to see the experience curve start leveling up. I've only killed maybe like 5 enemies since my first 2 characters leveled up, and now the sprite's already gaining the catch-up level, so... Oh, he's silenced. It's nice that that's working out. I did have the sprite dead for finishing off a boss at one point. That was no good. Sprite's got whip level 3. I could, in theory, switch off to another one so their sprite's learning valuable weapon experience, but I'm gonna hold off for a bit. Unless I have them switch. There's a bit of a bias towards the whip and the axe because you need those to get through certain types of terrain. Of course, the whip to jump over chasms, Indiana Jones style, and the axe to chop through things that are in your way. So, out of convenience, I almost always end up using one of them near the end of the game. And it's tough to pick the axe because it, you know, I don't know how to get leveled up to level 8 at the end of the game, so it kind of feels like a waste. You're using a slightly weaker weapon. And a small number of weapon points can make a big difference. That was very quick. I think I may have used the whip before. That was extremely fast. Two kimono birds, this is almost ideal in a way because they can't... They're both using up a spawn. I also like these guys a lot more than tomato men because you can actually keep them on the ground and beat on them. Of course, it didn't happen quite like that this time. And then he air blasted me. And then I got hit while I was down. But I think all in all we can say I proved my point very well. Alright. $47, that's a lot. 25% of your hit points in one blow. Alright, that went well. I seem to recall... Oh, now I'm gonna have to control myself backwards. Whoa. It's kind of strange. My buttons were messed up. Normally I associated silence with just confusing your character. I wonder if it takes away your ability to cast magic too. I've never really encountered it. It wears off so fast that it's not really an issue. Alright. Now Analyzer starts becoming useful. I'm pretty sure it's Earth Slide that works on this one, but I don't know. Gnome? Yeah. Usually it makes sense to the environment you're in. Yeah, Earth Slide. Like, that is a large lump of dirt, therefore throwing a large lump of dirt at it will probably work best. Chocolate won't fit. Because I blew all my money on bonbons, as the French would say. That sound we just heard somewhere was a passage. Whoop, I'm confused. Opening up, so we're gonna go back there and probably be pretty much done this area. but that's gonna wait till the next video. I'll kill these owls and then move on. I recommend you kill owls in your community. Alright. Showed them what's for. Music changed, I don't know why. Alright, I'll see you next time on Let's Play Secret of Mana.